And we're back for part 2 of the Garden Report. Celtics beat the Phoenix Suns tonight, 131-20. I'm here with Josue Pavon from WEEI.com. My name is Jimmy Toscano from Metro Boston. We got to get into it. You wouldn't know it based on the two teams' reactions after the game. Who won this game? The Celtics won by 10. They had this game handedly won, I would say, from start to finish, despite the Suns going on a little bit of a run there. After the game, it's the Suns taking pictures in the locker room, celebrating with Booker, posing. Yep. We have to get the crying Jordan. Buddy. I need somebody watching to put the crying Jordan on every one of those Suns players.
Oh, it's going to happen. At least one of those guys has to get it because they were dancing as if, they had just won the game, whereas they never led once in this game, Jimmy.
And turn the 70 into like an L or something. But all joking aside, I do understand why they're happy, but I mean, they don't have a whole lot to be happy for this year. So that's something big for them. The Celtics, on the other hand, weren't even really that happy after the game with this win. And again, the question that I have for you is that the mark of a legitimate playoff contender when you win by double digits and you're not happy?
I think it is. Absolutely, Jimmy, because let's face it. I mean, hearing the TD Garden cheer and
that was different.
It was different. It was something we've never seen before. And it was unusual because it felt like they were cheering for Devin Booker, even though they knew the Celtics were going to win the game.
Right.
But it also felt like they were sort of like, the Celtics, they're just letting this happen, so we're just going to go with it. I hated the fact that Isaiah Thomas was committing that foul. I mean, you put a hand in Devin Booker's face, why do you need to jump? I mean, you're not going to block that shot. Come on, let's face it. You're not going to block Devin Booker's shot, and if he makes it, then so what? Let the clock run out.
Right.
I think there was a really good chance of Devin Booker not scoring 70 points tonight, and the Celtics allowed that because of stupid plays down the stretch of that final minute.
And I think that's why, at the end of the day, that's why they were kind of upset. It's like a pride thing. Like, we just let this dude put up a historic number against us.
And it's funny, Jimmy. The first thing that came to my mind was, I wonder how Jay Crowder feels about this. Remember Jay? Remember how upset Jay was about people cheering for Gordon Hayward?
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden,
he was on the
Devin
bench.
Booker, dropping what was that? That three that was waved off, by the way. Good thing it was waved off because he would have dropped 73 if referees.
Oh, that was a bananas shot.
So after that, I think Jay Crowder had to have been thinking to himself, "Are you guys serious right now? Are you guys just? This is the loudest I've heard this place all night."
He went back in the game, I think, partially because the coach was worried that he was going to jump into the stands. No, I'm just kidding. That's not true. But really funny thing that I did see is, like, all right, so Jay Crowder's on the bench.
He was pissed off, though. Jay was not.
Yeah, he was pissed. There's a Celtics fan, I presume a Celtics fan because he's like 2 rows behind the Celtics bench, who gets up and cheers after Booker scores. Crowder turns around, he's like, and then the fan's like, it was not like.
I didn't mean like that, Jay. No.
Is like, I don't think he got out of his seat after that. But then Crowder goes in the game and he fouls him.
About Crowder.
Yeah,
I love that.
I was, and
I
couldn't wait to talk to Crowder about it after the game. He didn't want to speak. Probably for the best. May have saved a few bucks.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? But I can guarantee you that's something that he's going to remember next season.
Well, one thing that Booker said was that they were sort of jawing back and forth, but he said it was all friendly and
they
have respect for each other. But I don't know if I 100%
It has nothing to do with Booker. It has nothing to do with Booker. It has to do with Watson and.
Well, Watson, and I think you nailed it. It's pride.
Right.
I mean, this is the Celtics team that's trying to top the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Right.
Trying to be the #1 seed going into the playoffs. Hell yeah, they're prideful, and they're not going to see they could have easily blown this team up like 20, 25 points, and Devin Booker went off in that fourth quarter.
Which is why I'm not super concerned. People are going pretty hard on the Celtics after this one where they're not playing a full 48 and all this and all that. It's the NBA. How many NBA teams build an early 20, 25-point lead and maintain it? It just doesn't happen that often. The Suns went on their run. I think they got up to 10 at the
Right, but
10.
One thing I liked about
but
this
then
game,
Isaiah
Jimmy,
Thomas brought it to 19.
But before the fourth quarter, though, it was like 20, 16. Back up to 20.
Exactly.
That was the window that I like to see the Celtics maintain. And then it got down to 10. It got down to what, 9? I think that's the closest they got. Right?
Maybe 9. Yeah, it might have been 9.
9 or
and
10.
honestly, I thought that Booker was going to hit like a 9-point shot because he was scoring well. That was the only reason you were kind of nervous about it.
Right.
But it never got to that point. Celtics held them off. This is a good win for them because they're not feeling great about it, and they're going to come out. I think they're going to come out even harder on Sunday against a Heat team who's fighting for one of those playoff spots. These are big games for them. It just kind of sets the tone down the stretch. Last year, the Celtics kind of went like flimsy into the end of the season, and we saw it in the playoffs. It just didn't work out. So they're going into the end of the regular season strong, and we're going to hopefully have a long playoff run here. I think we're definitely getting out of the first round this year.
I think so. I think it's safe to say. I mean, regardless whether it's, Detroit, however that whole situation pans out by the end of this regular season, it's going to be in the Celtics' favor. I mean, win or lose, no matter who they play against, they have to be a favorite, right? I mean, it's a disappointment no matter who it is. I don't care about matchups or about a team that was, destined to beat the Celtics. If they don't get out the first round, it's a disappointing season. And I think out of all those teams in the top tier, you can say the Celtics easily have the most, the best momentum going into this final stretch.
Yeah.
But you kind of don't feel as good as you did before this game, right? Right, Jimmy? I mean, even though they won the game, I feel like they sort of have to go out here and really give it to Miami because they're going to get the best out of Miami on Sunday because Miami's one of those teams at the bottom trying to squeeze in and get a 7 or 8th seed to lock in.
I hear you there. It's going to be a good game. We will be here for it. We hope you guys will be too. So signing off, 130-120 Celtics beat the Suns. We'll see you guys Sunday.